Well, hello, boys and girls, moms and dads. This is old Santa Claus, and are you ready for some fun? Because today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to start exploring different types of kits. That's Kits, kits. And today I've got a very special one. It's called Quirkology Mind Games. Wow. And it says right here, it's time to play with your mind. Whoa. And that's what we're going to try to do. Play with your mind. Now, I'm going to talk a little slower. I'm going to read the back of this box. Let's see. So what is Quirkology? Well, these are surefire bets that you'll always win, incredible illusions that will blow your mind, interactive experiments that will bamboozle your brain, and spectacular science stunts that will amaze your friends. Professor Richard Wiseman is one of the world's leading psychologists. Join him as he plays with your mind and takes you on a remarkable journey into his quirky world where nothing is quite as it seems. Ho, ho, ho! Well, there's different things in the box. Let me show you right there. I got a little bit of a light hitting it because I want to show you the other side, which you probably didn't catch. The other side is real interesting. Look at the white. Can you see the white where the light shines? You can see stars, circles, plus signs, squares, and I think wavy lines. Yeah, wavy lines too, so you can see those interesting symbols all over that box top. So let's go ahead and switch cameras, and we're going to get into Quirkology Mind Games. Well, you can see what's in the box. There's a booklet, different ideas on things to do. We're going to go ahead and do these individually. Let's take a look at the booklet first. Now, the booklet is rather small. It gives you the ideas for the different Quirkology illusions or tricks, whatever you want to call them. And on the back it says, download the free Marvins Magic App. You see, this set is made by a magic company right here called Marvins Magic. They're out of England. I was very fortunate to receive this. And you use this identity code. I forgot what they call it. Again, I'm not a really electronic person. But when you put your phone or your camera on that, once you have downloaded what they call the Marvins Magic App from either Apple or Google Play, it'll give you the instructions on video. So I'm not really going to give you the instructions per se, but I want you to get a load of some of these things that are really kind of cool. Now I'm going to switch my cameras back. I don't even think I'm going to turn the camera off here. We'll just switch over to camera number 2. And we're going to start taking a look at these really interesting items here. Now the first one is an oldie. Now some of these really are magic tricks, but he also calls them mind-boggling, and they are mind-boggling. Magicians have been doing these for years, and I have one with candy canes, tell you the truth, and I have another one with Christmas stockings. So old Santa Claus has been doing this for a long time too. But you can see there's 2 fish, and you see how much bigger the fish are than this side right here. See how that's a little fish. But how can you make this little fish bigger? Watch. When I turn it over and I put it right here, now it's a bigger fish. Look how much bigger that is. Now I can make this fish the same size, just like that. But let's say I want to make this fish littler. How do I do it? Well, I turn it over like this, and now that fish is way littler. So you can make them the same size or bigger. That's a really interesting magic. And a lot of times you hear them call this the boomerang magic trick. But it's just an optical illusion. Let me show you. Normally I don't explain things, but your moms and dads might even know what's going on here. These are really the same size, okay? Now watch what happens. When I pull one away, it gets the illusion that it's getting smaller, but in reality it isn't. This is called an arc, this curve, and when you put that arc on the top arc of the next one, it just automatically looks smaller, but in reality they are the same size. Look at that. So that's really kind of a cool magic. The boomerangs. Let's see what else we have inside this box. That'll be really interesting. Now this also has been used by magicians as a magic trick. Let me set this up so you can see it. There we are. Now just take a look right there. And the whole idea is to count the pencils, you see. And I'm going to use this pencil as my magic wand. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pencils. Okay, now notice also there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that have the erasers on the back, okay? But watch, we're just going to change these two around. Remember, there were 16 pencils, okay? Now watch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pencils. One disappeared, but look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 still with the eraser on it. That's a very interesting optical illusion. Or is it an optical illusion? But this is also kind of a magic trick that's been around for a long time. We call one of them the Vanishing Leprechauns, where it shows leprechauns in a pot of gold, and one of the leprechauns vanishes when you change the pieces around. I've also seen them in Halloween sets. Yes, some boys and girls want Halloween items, and I've seen it where you have bats or ghosts flying in the sky, and all of a sudden one disappears when you change the pieces. But that's a really good illusion. Let's put this on pause again for a second. Now here's another really neat magic trick, but again, they call it a Quirkology. There we are. Now look at there, Quirkology Mind Game, I believe they call it. See, it says the amazing Vanishing Elephant. And you see the elephant right in the center, and look right there, it's perfectly lined up. Okay? Now here comes the interesting part. We'll turn them over, and we'll put back together again. Watch this. That lines up perfect with that. This lines up perfect with that. And this lines up. Look at this now. Perfect with that. But yet, the elephant has disappeared. Now, in some cases, I've seen them done with a jumbo playing card. That's a playing card. Sometimes moms and dads buy their little boys or girls. It's about 4 times bigger than normal card that your mom or dad would play with. And what somebody has done is made a magic trick where they make it a whole card, and then they make the piece disappear like this, but then they bring out the other piece that fits it. So it would be really cool if there was an elephant that you could put in there, but they don't have that. But anyways, that's a really neat one too. Let's put this again on pause. I've decided to use pause after all because I want to take the things out of the box and set them up so you can see them. Now these are called Quirkology observation tests. It says here how many prongs. There's 1, 2, 3, but I don't. It's interesting because the center one is really not a prong at all. See, it goes down here to that area. How it does that, I don't know. Let's see what this says. Are the lines sloping? You see, are the lines sloping? They look like they're sloping, but believe it or not, boys and girls, they're exactly across from each other like one of your notepads you'd be practicing your writing with, which I hope you're doing. Let's see. Are the lines straight? Now here the lines don't look straight, but they are, aren't they? They look crooked, but they're straight. Very strange. What do you see here? Now this is really cool too. You see, it looks like a guy playing an instrument, like a saxophone, but when you look over on this side, it looks like a face of a girl or a woman. Saxophone and a woman. Very interesting. Here's one now. How many arrows? Well, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I see the yellow areas, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I see 8 areas. If you see more than that, go ahead and send me an email or what do you call that? AOL.com, Santa's Magical Visit at AOL.com, and let me know how many you see. But I see 8. Now here's another one. It says, let's see. Do you see a triangle? Well, yeah, I see a triangle. That's easy. The triangle is right here inside those pie shapes. See, there's a triangle right there. 3 lines. Now, match the line. Which line bends the most? Look at this now. Which line bends the most? They all look about relatively straight to me. Maybe they look crooked to you. Again, you can let old Santa Claus know. And finally, it says, how many black dots? So there's actually one more. Now, I don't see black dots. I see white dots, but I got really old eyes. If you look right in between the black squares, I see white dots. And finally, this is an interesting one too. Touch the darker block. Believe it or not, they're both the same color. This one looks a little lighter gray than this one, but they're both the same color. So that's the Quirkology observation test. Now this Quirkology is called the face cards. Now if you notice, there's 6 cards and you're looking at them upside down. Now here's the really strange part. Watch. It looks normal. It looks normal. It looks normal. It looks normal. Yes, normal again. But this one, it looks normal to you right now. Watch what happens when I turn it around. Look what happens to her face. But if I turn it upside down, it looks like all the other ones. Now, if you think that's a funny one, wait till you see this one. Look at her. Look at what she looks like. But when you turn her upside down, look what happens. Now she looks like she's smiling normal. But when you go like this, just the opposite. Now you do a magic trick with this, and I won't get into it, but it's a very interesting thing to look at. And they give you 2 of these funny cards. You really only use 6 to do the trick. Again, it's called Quirkology face cards. Now this one is quite hard to do because this nub, I don't know if you can see it, on both sides is tiny. You need to have a little bit bigger thing to grab on, but when you spin it, it gives you that hypnosis look, like it, whoa, you're in my power, whoa, like that. Now, if you could spin this long enough, if you had a bigger tip to turn it with, like a top, what would happen is they would stare down it to about the count of 30 and then look at something and their eyes would go buggy. But we don't have that ability here, so we're just spinning it just to show you. But it's a cool magic trick too, because magicians do this with a big one and they have it on a slow-moving drill. And people stare at it in the audience. They'll have 100 people staring at it. And then they'll tell them to look at the ceiling or look at the next person, and the people's eyes will be going rear, rear, rear. So it really is a neat trick, but it could use a little bit bigger piece on there. Not critiquing it, just saying it for a fact. Now, this is a very interesting. I use the word interesting a lot because it is. This is a pointer, but watch what happens. If I spin this counterclockwise, looking in my direction, it spins fine, see? But watch what happens when I spin it clockwise, this way. Watch. It'll spin a little bit, and watch what it does. It turns around, goes the other direction. It's specially made, and I guess you would call it weighted, so that it can spin in the opposite direction. Look. Really kind of neat. Now, I'll show you one other thing. Maybe a lot of you boys and girls have seen this, but I have a little pedestal and a little bird. Now watch this. I got to line this up, and look at that. The bird balances on its beak on the pedestal. Isn't that cool? Now, you can balance that bird on a lot of different things. Watch when I take my pencil, and I'll put my pencil. Come on, Santa, you can do it. Right there, come on, Santa. And it balances right on the eraser of my pencil. And let's see if I can transfer it over to my finger here. Let's see. Oh, almost. Well, let's see. I guess I won't win the Santa Olympics over that. But look at the balances on. Just like that on my finger. Now, I think it would be really cool if your mom or dad had some little paint. They could paint this different colors. That would look really good. Or you could try to do it, but moms or dads are super good at it. But that is interesting. The balancing bird. I know I said it again. I must have used interesting about 1 million times today. But that really is. This is quite the set of things to play with and use over and over and over again and baffle your friends. I really do think so. Now for this one, I'm switching the cameras so you can see. I didn't think this could work, but it does. Look, this is a block. Now, I'm not going to say it's solid. It's probably hollow inside, but there's no openings. And here is a square that's got the hole that this fits in. Now, the whole idea is to try to take this out. You can't really grab it with your fingers. But I didn't think this would work, but boys and girls, this really works. Now, I'm going to move closer because I don't want to drop it. You're going to blow right on it, and it's going to pop out. Watch. Look at that. I'll do it again. And it pops right out. But if you put it here like this, it will not come out. Now, there's no magnets. It's just those two pieces and your lung power. And you could say to one of your friends, oh, I got this. I bet you there's no way you can get that out with your hands. Now, if they use Scotch tape, of course, they could get it out. But you just take it back and blow on it, and it pops right out. I think that is a super, super idea. But now I'm going to show you, for a piece of cardboard, one of the best Quirkology mind game ideas in here. Okay, boys and girls, I switched the cameras so that you can see this. And get your mom and dad if they're in there making the breakfast or lunch or supper tonight, because they're not going to believe this either. Now, I've got the incredible floating deck of cards, and you can see the professor right there showing you how that's working. And notice his last name was Wiseman, which is Wiseman. I don't think that's really his name, but it could be. Could be. But anyways, look at that deck of cards floating. But here's the catch, boys and girls. That's all an illusion. That is not floating whatsoever. That is just a picture. And believe it or not, so is this. Look, it's just a picture. I can roll my pencil right across it. Roll my pencil right across it. It doesn't go underneath. It really isn't floating. I've never seen an illusion this cool before. But look, I can show you all the sides, but it's just a piece of paper, or cardboard in this case, really nicely made. But look at that. Now, if I put it back down again and set it like there, and your eyes get used to it, you're going to think that that sign is standing upright and that that box is floating. Now, if I put a pencil right here, it kind of looks like it's going to go under it. I'm not going to say it really does, but to me, from my angle looking at the camera, I think it kind of looks like it's going to go under. Well, boys and girls, that's it. The Quirkology Mind Games set. I think it's really neat. Again, it's made by Marvins Magic, and we're going to explore other different types of magic sets and, of course, do magic. And I have promised you that I'm going to teach you 1 or 2 magic tricks coming up. So just stay tuned to Santa's Magical Visit, broadcast from my magic studio. Ho, ho, ho!